people, it's me Anya. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new video. Today's video focuses on my favorite epistolary books. For those who don't know what epistolary means, it means that all these stories are set in the format of letters, which I think is really cool. And this format is possibly one of my favorite formats, so I'm really excited to talk about these books. The first book on this list is called Get a Grip, Vivi Cohen. This book is a middle grade contemporary story that follows Vivi Cohen, who's very excited to join her baseball team, and she's not going to let her autism stop her, even if it means that she'll be the only autistic member and the only girl. This book is absolutely so good. I really enjoyed the autism representation. Even as an autistic person, I thought that it was done so well. I'm so excited for this author's next book. I think it's coming out very soon. But anyway, this story is so good. Vivi is such a wonderful, realistic, well-developed, nuanced, three-dimensional character. I really enjoyed her because I really enjoyed her voice, and her frustrations, especially with her mom, felt so realistic, and I really resonated with that. You know what I mean? This book was so good. Like I said before, it had really nice autism representation that felt so nice and wholesome. You know what I mean? But even aside from that representation, this story was so good. It's so good, it's so lovely and fluffy and wonderful, but also kind of like hard-hitting as well. You know what I mean? Like, it packs an emotional punch. We love to see it. This book is so good, and I really enjoyed it. So with that, I highly recommend it. The next book on this list is called The Night Diary. This story is a middle grade historical fiction story that follows a young girl who must move to what is now India after India's partition in 1947. This book was so good. Prior to reading the story, I had no idea about this historical time period, so this story was really insightful and educational for me, but it was also really entertaining as well. I really enjoyed the epistolary format because it really worked well for the story. It really just helped bring the story to life. You know what I mean? The story was so well done. It was just really good. I really enjoyed it, and this book is one of my favorite middle grade historical fiction stories because it was so good. It was so lovely and educational and like insightful and just so wonderful as well. Even aside from the insightfulness and the education that I received from reading the story itself was also so good. Like, the characters were so well developed and so wonderful and felt so three-dimensional. You know what I mean? The plot was so intriguing and it was done so well, and because I didn't know what to expect, because I've never learned about this before, that helped bring the plot more to life. You know what I mean? Like, the plot was so much more intriguing because I had no idea what was going to happen next. So with that, I highly recommend this book because it's absolutely so good. And I apologize for the background noise because I can't do anything about it. So yeah, there's that. The next book on this list is called Until Tomorrow, Mr. Marswell, and similarly to The Night Diary, this story is also middle grade historical fiction, and it's set against the backdrop of the Vietnam War, and it follows a young girl who's determined to save her brother from the draft. This story was absolutely so good. It was so educational and insightful, but it was also very entertaining. You know what I mean? Like, the plot was so intriguing. The setting and the storyline was so wonderful. I really enjoyed the world building in the story. It was so well done. I really don't read a whole lot of historical fiction set in the 1970s. Typically when I'm reading historical fiction, it's set in the 50s or like before. You know what I mean? So reading a story that's set in the 70s in such recent history was so nice and refreshing. And I think that there should be so many more historical fiction stories that are set in the 70s, you know what I mean? Because it's such recent history and like it's a reminder, you know? Anyway, this story was so well done, and I really enjoyed the plot, the character development, the setting, the world building. Every single element of the story was so well done, and it was so well researched. You know what I mean? Like, this story is so good. Similarly to The Night Diary, this book is one of my favorite middle grade historical fiction stories because it's just so good. And with that, I highly recommend it. even if this review is kind of chaotic and all over the place, I still highly recommend this story because it is so good. The next book on this list is a book that I read rather recently, and it is Music from Another World. This story is a YA historical fiction book that's set in the 1970s and follows two girls who were both heavily influenced by the gay rights movements in the 70s. I don't know why I just said in the 70s twice, but anyway, if you didn't know, this book is set in the 70s. This book was so good. Like I said previously, I don't read a whole lot of historical fiction books that are set in the 70s because typically when I read historical fiction, I'm reading stories that are set in the 50s or before, which I just said before. So I'm so sorry that this review is starting off so redundant. But anyway, this story is so well done. It's so awesome. I really enjoyed the sapphic representation in this story because it was so well done. This book is so good. It definitely deserves all of its hype and so much more. I was kind of skeptical that this book wouldn't live up to its hype, but it absolutely does because it's so good. It really taught me a forgotten, hidden piece of history. You know what I mean? I think it's really important to learn about queer history because I feel like, I mean, we all know this. History is so often like straight and westernized. You know what I mean? That I think it's so important to learn about these hidden pieces of history, and it serves as a reminder that we have a long way to go, even now in 2021. You know what I mean? Anyway, aside from that, this story was so well done. I really enjoyed the setting, the world building, the plot. The two characters were very distinct and well developed, and like I said, I really enjoyed their sapphic romantic relationship because it was done so well. This book, like I said, deserves all of its hype and so much more because it's absolutely so good. It's so wonderful and lovely, and I really enjoyed it. So with that, I highly recommend it. The last book on this list is a book that I talked about last week, and it is P.S. I Miss You. This story is a middle grade contemporary story that follows a young girl who's questioning her sexuality as she writes letters to her older sister who was sent away from their strict Catholic home after becoming pregnant. This story is absolutely so good. I really enjoyed the element of having this story set in a religious home because I think that type of representation for queer people is so important because I know that there are so many religious queer people out there who deserve to be represented just as much as secular queer people. Even aside from that, even aside from the wonderful and fluffy and lovely representation, the story was so well done. It was absolutely so good. I really enjoyed the plot. The plot was so intriguing. I really enjoyed the world building and the setting of the story, and the protagonist just felt so realistic and nuanced and three-dimensional. You know what I mean? Like, this book is so good and it's so underrated, and for what, the sapphic representation in the story was so good. This book is so good. It's so lovely and wonderful, and it packs such an emotional punch. You know what I mean? While also staying like wholesome and fluffy and wonderful as well. You know what I mean? Like, it's a nice balance of being fluffy and wonderful while also being hard-hitting as well. You know, without becoming too cheesy or overwhelming. So overall, this story was so good, and like I said, it's so underrated and for what, and with that, I highly recommend it. So in conclusion, I really enjoyed making this video because, like I said at the beginning of this video, the epistolary format is one of my favorite formats. So yeah. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please don't hesitate to give it a big thumbs up. Comment down below your favorite epistolary stories, and if you made it to the end of the video, please comment down below the cherry emoji. So yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!